Welcome back. We have Mark Bertoli joining us on the show from Abbott Wealth Management. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yeah, a little bit.
Great to have you back.
Yeah.
So what's our topic today?
Well, you know, we're going to do a little comparison. I've been doing some reading and about practice management and things like that. And as I was going through this, boy, there were some great lessons for building a business, but there was so many parallels in how to be a successful investor that I thought that it would be a good topic for you and I to spend some time on today.
All right, so two topics that have a lot of parallels. Let's hit the boards. We got a couple of boards to look at today.
So great by choice, Jim Collins and Morton Hansen.
Yes.
This is a story that goes back to 1970s and tracks companies. They're called 10Xers. 10Xers are companies that achieved 10 times the success of other people in their industry. So you think of Apple, you think of Microsoft, Southwest Airlines that prospered through 2008 and 2001 and the 9/11 and all of that. So there's a lot of different parallels. So they start this book by what struck me was the discipline. So maybe we can bring up the next slide. And that was the ascent on the South Pole by Amundsen and Scott.
Oh, should we say South Pole?
South Pole,
okay,
yeah.
No worries.
So what happened is two teams set out to conquer the South Pole for the first time on foot. Amundsen was very prepared, went and lived with the Eskimos. He used dogs because that's what the Eskimos, and Scott used donkeys and other unproven methods. Well, the donkeys would sweat and cause ice. They were sinking in the snow. Amundsen actually arrived on the South Pole 34 days before Scott. More importantly, he got home, and the Scott expedition did not. So really, that struck me right away, is to have a plan. Pete Netherway, an old friend of mine, he says, make the plan and work the plan. And don't deviate. RCMP discipline, right? So I thought that there was a great parallel there in how we have to prepare. You have to define where you want to be. You've got to think about what your retirement is now and start making those plans now so that you can progress towards it.
Great point.
You don't have surprises and find out that your donkeys can't walk through the snow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So the next one, this was an aha moment, the 20-mile march. And there we were talking about the discipline of doing it every day. So one of the key determinations between the two teams is that Amundsen did a 20-mile march. He got up and he plotted his course, he planned his course, his rations and everything, and every day. If it was a good day, he did 20 miles. If it was a bad day, he did 20 miles. Scott would get up, and it was a good day, he would go 30 miles. This is a great day, and they'd go until they're exhausted. Then they would set up their tents, and then a storm would blow in. Well, a couple of things happened. He didn't have the energy the next day to go, and then he didn't have the mental discipline and energy because he was exhausted. So that caused a big problem. Now, you can play different areas of investing where you have a detailed strategic plan that you follow, and ours is owning businesses of quality and watching earnings and very careful. Or you can start speculating and things go up wildly, the 30-mile walk, and then they go down and you don't have the energy. Oh, I had all that money and now I don't. And do I have the energy after all of that to make sound decisions about my investments? So, we've always been the advocate of plan carefully and execute and stick to your plan.
Absolutely.
Right? Because then you don't get fatigued like the 30-mile walk and run into a storm that you can't handle. So,
absolutely.
So that was a big one. And the last one, I was such an aha moment. And how can good luck be a bad thing?
How can it?
Good question. So in this particular story, two gentlemen had business discipline. One stuck to it, did his 20-mile march, so to speak, and the other kind of slacked off. Well, then they had a little bit of a good economy and they did quite well. And they thought, oh, this works. And then the next time they came into a challenge, the second company never made it. So it'd be like investing if we were gambling. And the best thing that could happen if you're a gambler sometimes is to go out the first day and lose. because you go, that didn't work.
That's right.
Whether it be investing or going to the casino. So let's say you went out and you speculated and you won. I go, wow, well, this is easy. Now I'm going to go get the rest of my money and I'm going to gamble with that. And then you end up with nothing.
That's right.
So how can good luck be a bad thing? Is when it leads you down the wrong path. And I guess the moral of the story is there is no shortcut. There is the 20-mile march. There is the discipline. There is the planning. And they so parallel each other. And going back through times, you see that successful companies stuck to these disciplines. I think, you know, if you don't learn from the past, you're destined to repeat it. So learning some good lessons from the past may help us with our retirement and our future.
Great parallels today.
All right.
Yeah, that was carefully woven together.
Thank you.
Yes. If you have any questions for Mark, you can certainly get a hold of him at the number on the screen. 828-3000 is the RCMP's number. It's actually 372-3736. Also, abbottwealth.com. That's probably my error, Mark. I apologize for that. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Thank you.